If you've been watching Austin's headlines and wondering where the next wave of growth is happening, today I want to zoom in on something most people are missing: Williamson County. Places like Cedar Park, Leander, Liberty Hill, Round Rock, and Georgetown. These areas are just growing, they're expanding, and they're becoming strategically important to defense, aerospace, artificial intelligence, and the advanced manufacturing. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through real estate, data, real maps, and real investment activity. And more importantly, why this matters. And if you live here or plan to move here or own real estate in Central Texas, this video is for you. So let's get started about housing data. Because growth without demand doesn't mean much. And that's not what we're seeing here in Central Texas. What you're seeing here are closed sales in Cedar Park, Leander, and Liberty Hill over the past decade. You can clearly see the pandemic surge in 2020 and 2021. And then what's followed is not a collapse, it is a normalization. And by 2023 through 2025, sales volume has adjusted and inventory has increased, and the days of market have increased also. And that's not a bad thing. When we have more inventory, that means buyers have more options to find the home, negotiate what they want to negotiate, and the sellers have the ability to go back and forth as well. In December 2025 specifically, we saw more active listings, more new listings, and a modest price adjustments. That combination matters because this is not a broken market. This is a functional market, and functional markets are what support long-term growth, which is what every homeowner and buyer want in Central Texas. So one of the biggest shifts in how growth is happening today is that it's no longer city-based. So it's corridor-based. And let me explain what that means. Williamson County sits at the intersection of several major economic corridors. And along with I-35, you have US 183. And it acts as a backbone that runs through the city of Cedar Park, Leander, Liberty Hill, and connects directly with Austin, and even all the way down to the Austin Austin International Airport. So this alignment means transportation, zoning, employment centers is intentional, and infrastructure investments are being paired with economic development. And that's why these changes the region's trajectory, and it's just not a flash in the pan. We're seeing real growth in these corridors. What we're seeing in the northern part of 183, the Cedar Park, Leander, Liberty Hill portion of the 183 is, and this gets overlooked in Central Texas, is this area is really focusing on being the space and defense corridor. Cedar Park has recently created a Central Texas Spaceport Development Corporation to develop and position itself as a defense and aerospace hub. Companies like Firefly Aerospace are already actively scaling manufacturing nearby. And their partnerships with established defense contractors bring long-term employment stability. These are not short cycle startups. Defense and aerospace roles tend to anchor housing demands for decades. So Leander is also seeing this aerospace related facility and equipment business movement as well. So that's what I mean by the corridor is growing along this type of industry. That changes the employment profile for the entire area. And when the employment changes, housing demands follow. Going further on other corridors in the Williamson County area is the ag tech advanced manufacturing. Now this is also in Williamson County, and this is not betting on one industry, right? So Williamson County is diversifying into multiple industry segments. So along I-35 and State Highway 95, we're seeing growth in ag tech and advanced manufacturing. Don't forget, out in Taylor, we have Samsung. Along 95, we're getting John Deere with investments. So these industries value land availability, logistics access, and the proximity to Austin's talent base. And that kind of growth supports a workforce for housing as well. This is not luxury housing per se, but this is rooftops that are going to be necessary to support these employers and the growth that we're seeing along the 95, I-35, and 183 corridor. So let's go a little bit further on another corridor. So the AI corridor, which was basically I-35, that goes all the way down from Austin to the San Marcos. Let's talk about artificial intelligence, right? So AI, artificial intelligence, because this is where Austin becomes nationally relevant, even internationally relevant. Austin now accounts for roughly 30% of all Texas patents. And for venture capitalization and funding are rebounding strongly in 2025. AI companies don't need downtown towers, but they do need talent, connectivity, and scalability. And Williamson County provides all three of these. So you have Travis County that will benefit, and you also have Williamson County benefiting from the AI. So innovation tends to follow with infrastructure, and infrastructure is moving north. Many years ago, the Williamson County commissioners did some good footwork on putting together a plan on where this infrastructure is going to go. And they're just now starting to see the benefits of that long range planning of where roads are going to be, where infrastructure is going to lay, so that employers that need big footprints and housing and all of the like have the ability to look at the plan and know where to place their footprint. Now, in Leander, I failed to mention, North Line is a real transition, right? So the North Line is a perfect development that's coming online. It's taken some time to develop, but I liken it to a little bit like the Domain 2.0. So the Domain took some time to kind of get its feet underneath it, but if you've been to North Austin, the Domain is a premier stop for employers, shopping, restaurants, living, working, all in one ecosphere. And that's the North Line is going to be the next version of that, but it's going to be along the 183 corridor. And it's going to be mixed use with employment-centered growth. Like I said, think Domain 2.0. So jobs come first and the housing that goes around it, and it doesn't happen the other way around. So when we have this kind of entity, this kind of development along the 183, it's going to reduce commute pressure. It's going to support long-term pricing stability, and it's how regions grow sustainably instead of reactively, which Leander, Williamson County have all worked really hard to be not reactive, but proactive in what they're dealing with on housing and growth. So, and then the Austin headlines, we have capital confirmation. So these headlines matter because it's not hype, it's about capital commitment. And I'm speaking specifically about the Austin Bergstrom's International Airport, the expansion that's happening. So I was at a recent event where I was speaking with one of the main city employees that's overseeing the process of the management of this heavy lift that Austin is doing. They're going to be doubling the passenger count and adding, airline crew bases, and adding manufacturing investments. And this is going to bring energy and technology funding. And then what this is going to benefit is counties like Bastrop, because Bastrop's going to need rooftops, Del Val's going to need rooftops to help support all of this additional infrastructure that's going in around Austin ABIA. So again, Central Texas, Williamson County, we are growing, and it's not by mistake. So what does this mean for real estate? right? So if you're coming here or you've been here or you're just renting here, for buyers, this is about timing and location, not about speculation. For sellers, you need data, and you need data to be able to explain how to position your property so that it sells. Pricing and preparation matters more than it has in the last couple of years. And that strategy of pricing and preparation is key. And we didn't need it in 2020. We didn't need it in 2021. We didn't need it in 2022. And now that we're back to normalization of a market, it is critical that that portion is not skipped. So as Austin continues to mature, we're going to see rooftops. We're going to see employers come to Austin, major employers, some with small footprints, some with very large footprints. And being positioned as a buyer, being positioned as a seller, as an employer is key. If you want data-based conversation about how these trends could affect your specific neighborhood, I'm always happy to walk you through it. I hope you find this video helpful, and if you do, please like and subscribe. And if you want more of a deep dive like this, please leave a comment and I'll show you what comes next.